Hey everybody, it's Romania Black. So, we're on episode 7 of Attack on Titan, and this series is getting pretty darn interesting. Last episode did a total departure from what I thought was going to happen. Instead of focusing solely on the Battle of Trost, we got a lot on... We did focus a little bit on Trost, but we mainly got Mikasa's backstory, which was so good, so badass, and it explains so much about her character. It explains about her relationship with Eren. It explains about how she got integrated into the Jaeger family, her views on just how cruel the world is, and it's a dog-eat-dog world, and that explains so much why she's just hacking Titans left and right now, because she's like, I've got to do what I can to survive. And then, of course, it ends with her being like, as long as Eren's around, I'm great. It's like, well, we're assuming Eren's still around, we just don't know the context. So, yeah. So I am super curious to see. It looked like we're getting back to the main battle this episode, and that it looked like Mikasa was gonna find Armin, and I'm a little worried for Mikasa because we had that flashback and we had her backstory, and I'm like, okay girl, you gotta hold it together, because chances are you're not gonna like what you're gonna hear from Armin. Armin's probably having some severe PTSD, as he should, and it just, I don't know, y'all. I thought that we were going to get Pixis and Levi last episode, and we didn't get them at all. So I'm going into this episode with a blank slate. I'm going into this episode knowing from the preview that we're going to get some confirmation that Armin and Mikasa talk probably about Eren. But we have no clue where Eren is. No clue. As far as we know, he's in the belly of a Titan. How that works, I don't know. How he's getting out of that, I don't know. But yeah, if he's in the belly of a Titan... But they're really, really hot. So does that like try to decompose them as it goes? I feel like the whole title cards in the middle are going to eventually explain something that will relate to that, but I don't know. But y'all have been amazing with not spoiling me. Kudos. If I had badges to give y'all, I would, because I know what it's like when you want to spoil someone. I do that all the time with series that I've read the manga for. I'm like, I can't tell you. And so I know that feeling. It's the worst, but I thank you for watching me suffer, as y'all know what's going to happen. So in any case, let's do this. Let's jump into episode 7, The Small Blade. And that probably is a reference to Mikasa's blades, because she mentioned last episode that the 2 she had were broken and that she was going to use the others, but she needed to fix them. And it's such a tiny blade to attack these Titans with, but as Mikasa has shown, it is highly effective. So yeah, let's do this, y'all. Let's dive in. We're gonna start episode 7 of Attack on Titan here in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Did Eren just become a Titan? I have thoughts. I have questions. I have many questions. And, yeah, let's talk about this episode. Show. Okay, show. Alright, so I'm going back through this episode. This episode, it was grisly. This episode was grisly, and you want to see humanity at its lowest point. This episode was pretty much it. And I'm sure that those of you in the comments are like, Romania, you've not seen low yet. And I'm sure I haven't, because we're only 7 episodes in, right? And there's 4 seasons to this show. So I'm sure I've not seen the most horrific things. But so far in this series, this has been like the worst place that we've been at, because Walrose is in the risk of being breached. Right now, Trost, the little side thing, is the one that's been breached. So we haven't made it through Walrose yet, but Trost is in peril. And this episode, we got into a lot of human psyche, of people's perceptions of what's important, of how they rationalize during moments of panic, and then the rage of humanity on display in flesh form. I have questions. And again, y'all have been amazing for not spoiling me, and you've all told me that the questions will get answered. And from the preview, it looks like things are still going on. So maybe we'll get some questions, some answers. I don't know. So, okay. All right. So, getting back into this episode, going through here, the idea of just how dire things are with the city right now. I love how everything is just gloomy and overcast, and it just looks drab and gray and just solemn. It just looks like the whole city is in mourning. And so it was really, I have to go back to this first scene with the supply troops, because I didn't click 2 and 2 together until Jean was talking about it later. But we supply troops won't be able to protect this place alone. And they say, please stay here. So they're asking the commander of inside to stay there and help protect the supplies. And he's like, no, we've got to go get gas. We have to organize the reinforcement squads. We need to go give gas canisters to the other people. And they're like, don't you want to stay within the inner gate where it's safe? And he's like, what are you trying to say? And he's like, this is our procedure. This is what we have to do. This is the protocol. We go give supplies to the vanguard. And then the girl's like, no, but if this place falls, and he's like, if you're going to be a traitor, I'm going to kill you here and now. But that's not what happens. That's not what happens. I mean, that shot of the hook hanging is just like a meat locker. It's so good. It's so grisly. But yeah, Mikasa, she meets up with everybody, meeting back up with the group, and of course she's looking for Eren and doesn't see him, and everybody's just kind of like reorganizing, and they're like, we heard the bell sound a temporary retreat. Why is no one climbing the walls? No one's climbing the walls, we find out, because they don't have the gas. They don't have enough gas to make it to the walls to climb over. And oh my gosh, the retreat, the bell tower, the Titans. Here's the thing. Question 1. So the Titans are climbing this church building stuff to get to the troops, right? They're like doing everything they can to get to the troops. My question is, can they just smell humans and that's just what they go after? Because they're like ignoring everything else. They're literally going for the humans. It's kind of disturbing that that's what they're going after. And these guys have made the little barricade, and oh my god, the guy that's just sitting there and he has like no look in his eyes. He's just mindlessly, getting the keg and the powder ready. And for a second I thought he was gonna try to shoot a Titan. Nope. He was like, it's the end of the world as we know it, and I feel fine. And then just stuck the barrel in his mouth, and it's like, oh my god. And they're like, nope. Like that's pretty damn disturbing. And that's kind of the situation that they're in. And Jean kind of, I feel for Jean this episode, because he is like, they've issued the order to retreat, but we don't have gas. We can't climb the walls. Jean looks so hopeless in this episode. Like, Jean was just so beside himself, and you can't blame him. And Connie's like, where's the supply team? And he's like, they were too cowardly to move. He's like, I get why they did it. And then we cut back to the supply room, and yeah, the two of them, the girl and the guy, they just literally killed everybody else so that they wouldn't have to go. Either they killed everybody else, or the Titans made it into the supply room and started killing everybody else. So it's one of those two scenarios, but either way, they didn't get the supplies like they were supposed to. And Jean, oh my gosh, the look that Jean gives. Jean's expressions in this episode are so damn good. He's just like, you can see like the rage and frustration and fear and anxiety all in Jean's face. Like his expressions are amazing. And him looking at Connie, and Connie's like, it's not going to get any worse if we just sit here. We're either going to die one way or the other. And Jean's just like, he's just, if we keep running, we'll waste the gas that we have. He's like, we just need to, without our maneuver gear, we're done for. And that's so true. I didn't realize the importance of the maneuver gear entirely until this battle started. And it's like, oh yeah, if you can't move quickly, you're dead. And then Jean's like, yeah, you're using your head, but here's the thing, most of the Vanguard veterans were killed. He's like, which of us trainees could lead a suicide mission like that? And the answer, of course, is Mikasa. And Jean is like, even if someone could, we can't fight the Titans. Funny that. And I bet the gas supply room is chock full of 3 to 4 meter class Titans right now. Yeah. And we can't refuel with them around. So it's like you're in a lose-lose situation, and Connie's like, we're doomed? And Jean's like, what a stupid life. If I knew this would have happened, I would have told them. And so that's my second question. Question 2. What would Jean have told whom? Would he have told Mikasa that he likes her? Is that who he would have told? Is it something else? We don't know what Jean is regretting at the moment because we don't get to know anything. And Sasha, bless her heart, Sasha, she's like, we can do this. We got this. And everybody else is just so forlorn. And so I give props to Sasha for trying. Like, girl is trying to organize and rally the troops. And she's like, it's just not... She just doesn't have the clout to get it done. And then Armin, bless his heart, Armin's just... Because his worst fear is, like, Mikasa showing up. And so I'm glad the moment we got confirmation that Annie is fine, Reiner is fine, is it Bertolt? The guy that's with him is fine, and then Marco is still fine. But Marco looks, and then of course, we don't know anything about Thomas yet, but Marco looks pretty, Marco is just shell-shocked. He's like, there's no way any of us can make it out of this town alive. Like, Marco looks, if I'm pegging anybody to die next episode, it's Marco. Because Thomas is gone, Mina's gone, we got the other 2 guys, I'll get their names again in a second, but if I'm pegging any of this group to go down next episode, it's probably Marco. If I'm going to guess, because he just looks so out of it. It's like, I knew I could die, but what am I dying for? That's question number 3. What are you dying for? Interesting. And so then, yeah, Mikasa shows up, and girl, her finding Armin, and just, that part was so hard. That scene was so hard, was him just telling her that everybody in his group died, and you could just see like the fear on her face, and him just saying, look, the members of Trainee Corps Team 34, and we get the other 2 guys' names, we get their names, Thomas Wagner, Knack, Tias, Milius Zermuski, Mina Carolina, and Aaron Yeager. They died valiantly in the line of duty. And then Armin's like, he admits later that Aaron died to save him. He sacrificed himself. And everybody else, no one else seemed to know this was going on until now because Armin couldn't speak. And even Jean looks really sad. Jean doesn't look happy about it at all. And then if we try to face the Titans, the same will happen to us. And Mikasa, she just goes into like... And Armin's right. She is fighting the shock by doing things. She's like, fine, I'll just start killing Titans to fight the shock. We're good. Everything's okay. Sure thing. But she's like, you can just see she looks dead inside when he looks up at her. And she's just like, now's not the time for emotions. This isn't the time to get emotional. And he's like, oh God, no, nope. And so if anybody can lead this ragtag group, it's Mikasa. And I like that Jean gets somewhat inspired because of course he likes Mikasa. And so she's like, we can refuel and climb the walls. We're just going to head straight to it. And Marco's like, well, yeah, but, you know, there's too many of them. She's like, nah, I'm going to kill them. And I love her speech. She's like, you all aren't strong enough. She's like, I'm strong. Y'all aren't. She's like, stronger than you all. You guys are cowards. You're standing here not doing anything. She's like, and I love that she just gets that momentum built up. And she's like, if I have to do it on my own, fine. And Armin being like, you could tell Armin's like, well, wait, you're going to run out of gas. And I thought in the moment, I was like, is Armin going to give her his canisters? Because Armin's not fit to fight the Titans right now. And he ends up doing it in the end. And she's like, screw all y'all. Peace out. And she's just not having it. She's like, if I can't do it, I'll die. And if I win, I'll live. And if I don't fight, I can't win. So she's like, we're all either going to sit here and die, or we're going to die trying to make it out alive. And I don't blame her. I don't blame her. And then, of course, Jean in true Jean fashion, has to make a joke out of it. And he's like, what's disappointing here is your vocabulary. Was that supposed to be an inspirational speech? And he's like, this is your fault, Aaron. And it kind of is, because she's like going into this mode because of Eren's death, and Jean being like, listen up, we're trained to let our fellow soldiers die alone. Mm-mm. Do you really want to become cowards? I like that Jean steps up because of Mikasa, and Reiner's like, well, no, we don't want that. And then Armin and Margot's like, oh God, I'm going to die here, aren't I? You just see that look on his face. And she's like, come on, wimps, cowards, idiots. Sasha, I love her. It's like, yeah, at this point, what have you got to lose? Because you're either going to stand there and die, or you're going to go and fight. And I really love them all jumping into action and going towards the wall is kind of like in the OP, them all rising up from the rooftops. It's the same symbolism. I love it. I absolutely love it. But yeah, so they've got a long way to go to get to the supply room. And she's just like, bounce, 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 let's kill these. And Jean's like, let's follow her and do this fast. And we need to storm HQ before our gas runs out. And Connie's like, yeah, Mikasa's amazing. And Mikasa notices it too. She moves too fast. And Armin's like, nah, she's using up too much gas. She's going to stumble and fall. And she does. She runs out of gas. And Connie's like, I'll go after Armin. And yeah, the Titans are still out there. And Connie's like, no, we need you to lead the group because you've got the skills. And you can tell Jean is conflicted because Jean wants to go to Mikasa, but he knows that Connie's right. Yeah. And then we cut to her being on the ground. And this Titan starts going towards her. And we had the pause break, right? So the information we share, the 3D maneuver gear diagram, houses the wires. It contains 2 independent rotational axes. Right. So that's just what the gear looks like. We've got that. And it says the control system is a black box, a closely guarded secret by its engineers. And contains compressed gas. So we don't exactly explain how it works. That's just gas is needed to make it function. Okay. All right. Keep your secrets, show. Be that way. But yeah, so, and then Jean, we can't get close to HQ. So Jean has this moment. He's like, we can't get close unless we're willing to risk casualties. And here's the problem that we've run into. Yep. He's out of gas. And so, oh God, Tom, I'm coming for you. And so there's another Tom apparently. And he's like, don't do it. And God, this part is so grisly and Jean is just like seeing his comrades get eaten by these things. He's like, we're not going to make it there by ourselves. And just how shell-shocked. He's like, why couldn't I stop them? And I kind of freaked out because that girl, he's like, why didn't I stop them? If I had forced them to stop. Yeah, why didn't he stop the troops? Yeah. And they got the girl, and I thought they were going to, like, rip her arms off on screen. I'm glad they decided not to. That was nice of the show to do that. It's like, why do I have to fight? Why do I have to hide? What did he say there? That line was really good. What was exactly? Yeah, this wouldn't have happened if he had just stepped in and stopped them from going. But he says, do I have the right to hold a position of responsibility? So it's like he doesn't even see himself as worthy of being in charge because he's like, I'm not even doing my job. And Marco and Sasha are like, and everybody else is like, And Jean is like, as that girl says, I don't want to die. So Jean clearly has this conflict going in that he's trying to be a leader, but he's too much of a coward. He's like, I'm too cowardly. How can I even be a leader of this group if I'm not even willing to step up and do things? And I love when we jump back to Mikasa, we have the continuum of that line where she says, this world is cruel and also very beautiful. And we get the shot of her and Eren, and she's smiling there. And she's like, it was a good life. Just remembering Eren. But here's the thing. She thinks that she's just going to die, and she's resigning herself to it. But it's like, it's ingrained in her system, in her DNA, that she's like, no, I can't die. No, not here, not now. And here's the thing. Okay, this fat Titan, like the guy with the pot belly, the dad bod Titan that shows up, old dad bod here, he's got like a hole at the bottom of him. I don't know. They said they don't have genitalia. It said in the thing that they don't, in the case files, they don't have genitalia. But he has like a hole down there. So it's like, do they have excrement? Or what's the deal? What's the deal, y'all? I don't understand. But there's clearly something there. And then, yeah, it shows the cell, the image of the cell, and the cell like pulses. And she's like, I can't just die. She's like, no. And she chops its fingers off with the small blade. And she's like, no, I can't. She's like, why? Why can't I just accept my fate? And he's like pushing her up against a wall, and it's not happening. And I thought I'd given up. And why do I keep standing up? Because it's like, it's ingrained in her DNA. Why am I struggling? It's ingrained in her DNA to fight. Like, it's the fight or flight response. And she's like, no, I've survived this long, damn it. I'm not giving up now. And they show the thing of the pomegranate. And inside the pomegranate, there's all these different pieces and bits to it. To what end? So why? Why do you keep trying? There's no point, she says, in living anymore. Oh, but honey, there is. It's like, what's driving me? And so it's like, why do you live? What point is there? And there's clearly, she has a sense of purpose in her. And it's like, you want to, protect your friends and your family, and you still have Armin. So it's like, and then in comes this Titan and saying to her, fight. And she remembers Eren. It's like, fight. And it's like, as long as you're alive, just fight. And that's what she remembers. She's like, I'm sorry, Eren, I won't give up anymore. And it's like her affirmation to herself. She's like, I'll never give up again. And then she's like, because she realizes she's letting him down by not fighting. Because Eren that's been his mantra, like, this whole time has been like, we have to fight the Titans. We have to save everyone. We have to fight for humanity and to stay alive and exist. And she's like, I had given up. And she's like, that's not what you told me, and that's not what we believed in. She's like, so I was almost betraying myself. And she's like, I'm not going to do that anymore. I'm not going to give up. And she says, once I'm dead, I won't even be able to remember you. She's like, so how can I give up now? So clearly Mikasa does not really believe in an afterlife. She's like, I just don't want to forget you, so I'll win no matter what. And she's got the knife, she is ready to take on this Titan, and the sunlight comes out, and there's the symbolism, and it's beautiful. And I thought in this instance that this other Titan had showed up, and she was just going to have to, like, brush past both of them. That's what I thought was going to happen. I'm like, oh god, there's a second Titan that showed up. She's going to take on this first Titan, like, cut through its hand or something, and then start running away from this other Titan. But you know what? No! This Titan just, like, punched the bejesus out of the other one. Like, walked right over Mikasa and punched it. And, okay. This elven-looking thing here, this Ganondorf-looking mofo here. I'm sorry. I've paused it now. But it has the hair, it has the eyes. It looks like Eren! A Titan killing another Titan. And here's the thing. This is why I think it looks like Eren, but it's not just that it kind of looks like Eren, but it's the action that it's doing, right? Because we got in the flashback in the last episode, we got in the flashback of Eren just stabbing that guy over and over again, telling him to die, and was stabbing him over and over again, and then everything was cool. This Titan is just kicking the bejesus out of this other one until it is pretty much dead. And, yeah, just kicks the snot out of it. And Mikasa's like, we've not seen this happen before. And, yeah. So I think it's Eren, but I'm like, but how? How? Why? What's going on here? Is it Is it... I have so many questions. The only thing I can think of is, what are you involved with, Dr. Yeager? Because I'm sorry, but the only thing I can think of, these Titans show up, and then this Titan, he's like, no, that Titan is fighting the other ones. And here's the thing, and that other Titan's like a skeleton, the one that he just stomped the bejesus out of. Yeah, like, it's paying no attention to them. And it's like, it's just muscle and looks like it's gonna fight. And then it punches him, and you see, like, the impact of it. And the head flying through the tower, amazing. I love it so. And it's still, like, trying to get up after him. And he's like, no. And you see his hand regenerate, because they said Titans can regenerate. So you saw the hand regenerating. And he just, like, stomps it out, the part of the neck that kills it. And he knew where it hit it. He knew how to kill them. And it's paying no attention to them. It knew how to kill them, and it knew combat skills. So the only thing I can think of is it has something to do with... But here's the question. It has something to do with what Dr... Okay. So Dr. Yeager, at some point, injected Eren with something. Okay? With something. We don't know when it happened. We don't know what the circumstances were, but I don't think it was a dream at this point. Something has happened, and he got injected with something. But I'm like, I have so many questions. I'm like, okay, well, does that make Eren a Titan if that happens? Or what is Dr. Yeager involved in? What's in the basement? Don't spoil me. But I'm like, okay, does it have something to do with what he injected, supposedly, Eren with? But then my question is, what does... Who knows stuff about the Titans that we don't? Okay? So there's clearly knowledge about these Titans that is not public knowledge and is not being told to the military, which is problematic as hell. So what's going on there? What did Dr. Yeager inject Eren with? Does that have anything to do with this Titan that looks similar and acts similar to Eren on a rampage? Or maybe it's Dr. Yeager. I don't know, but I don't think so, the way that it acts. No. Why? Why is Eren stuck like this? Is he going to be a Titan now? I'm so curious. I'm like, is this Eren? I think it is. Why is he like this? How did this happen? We need flashbacks. I need a flashback. What happened to the other Titan? What is Dr. Yeager involved in? What does the government royal family know that the military doesn't know? Or anybody else knows? Do they know extra things? Or is this just Dr. Yeager's knowledge? What does this mean about the other Titans? Are the other Titans originally people too? Were they originally people and it just went awry? Is this all a government conspiracy gone wrong that's been going wrong for hundreds of years? I have questions. And I'm so thankful that y'all aren't spoiling me, but I know that right now you are watching this video, wringing your hands maniacally and just smiling at the screen, being like, Romania, you don't even know the half of it. And I'm like, I don't. I have never wanted to watch this whole series. I've been like, okay, I'll watch the next episode next week. We're cool. Yay. I have never wanted to dive into another episode so quickly in my life than the next episode because I want more answers. But here's the thing. I thought I wanted to do that with episode 6 because I was like, oh, I want answers right now. And then the episode did a complete 180 and we just got Mikasa's backstory. So I'm saying that I want to dive into this episode, but I know what's going to happen. If I watch the next episode, they're probably going to deviate and show us somebody else's flashback or show us Pixis or Levi or somebody else, and then we won't even know. So, you know what? I'm not going to fall for it. It's fine. It's totally fine. But I am beyond floored. I'm so curious now. I have so many questions. I have so many theories. I need answers. And y'all have told me that everything gets an answer. So that makes me happy to know that I'm going to find out. Because my curiosity is piqued. Yeah. So, I know it's hard. I know it's so hard because I'm with you guys. There are some shows that I'm watching right now that I've read the manga to, and it's so hard not to spoil. But I'm so thankful that y'all aren't spoiling me because, yeah. I can see how easy it would be. How easy it would be indeed. So yeah, cool. No worries. We'll just find out eventually if this is Eren and how this works. I'm like, does he tell them that he can become a Titan? How does that even work? Does he even know? Does he even know? Or here's the thing. We go back. Armin's gives her the canister and tells her to save everyone. And she's like, I led everyone into battle without being willing to protect them. For a minute, I gave up on living. Not feeling responsible for them in the least. So she's like, I wasn't even thinking about everybody else that I led into battle. I wasn't being a leader. She's like, I was just thinking of myself and just dragging them along with me for personal reasons. And then, yeah. And they're like, the starter device still works. I gave you all my blades. Let me keep this one. And she's like, nah, you're coming with us, dude. No, you're not staying here to die. You're going to come with us. Because I get it now. The implication was he didn't want to get eaten alive. When he had the blade, I was like, well, he was going to kill himself before he got eaten alive. That was what was going to happen. He was going to commit suicide. And she's like, nope. She's like, you're coming with us. You ain't committing suicide today, Armin. And then, yeah, at the time, I was filled with confusion. As we all are. Yes. I'd never heard of a Titan killing another Titan. And yeah, I also felt a glimmer of exhilaration. I felt, the rage of humanity itself was embodied in what I saw. This Titan is representing all of their anger and fury. Oh my gosh. The actions, the scream, it all screams Eren. And I'm like, but how? But how? How do you get out of the other Titan's body? How do we do this? Show. I have a feeling I'm going to have so many questions, and they're not going to get answered. And that's fine. That's perfectly fine. So yeah, I hope y'all enjoyed this episode and this reaction. This was a lot of fun. I hope y'all enjoyed it. But yeah, I cannot wait to figure out what the hell's going on. So in the meantime, I hope y'all have a wonderful week. Please stay safe, take care, and yeah, I'll be back next week with episode 8. 8 is my lucky number, so maybe we'll get some answers. But for episode 8 of Attack on Titan. Bye.